Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with the Unit 6 MBC 004 Understanding and Classifying Cost. Objectives of this unit are to familiarize you with the process of determination of cost, particularly in a manufacturing concern, to explain how the costing techniques are useful in the process of managerial decision making. And structure of these units are: there is an introduction, cost accounting, cost, elements of cost and components of cost, total cost and cost sheet, classification of cost, some other concept of cost, summary is there, keywords are there, and self-assessment questions and exercise are there, and further reading materials also there. So let's begin with the introduction part. You will recall that unit 1 and 2 of this course gave you a detailed outline of conceptual framework of accounting and the role of accountant is required to play in a present commercial and industrial setup. You have seen that he is more of an advisor to the management. He functions as the channel through which accounting information flows to the management efficiently and effectively. He gathers information, breaks it down, sift it, and organize it into meaningful categories. He separates relevant information from irrelevant and then ranks the former according to the degree of importance to management. In performing the above multiple duties, the accountant has to make use of different management accounting techniques. Cost techniques have precedence over other techniques since the accounting treatment of cost is often both complex and financially significant. For example, if a firm proposes to increase its output by 10%, is it reasonable to expect the total cost to increase by less than 10%, exactly 10%, or more than 10%? Such a questions are concerned with the cost behavior, the way cost changes with the level of activity. So, cost accounting. In the initial stages, cost accounting was merely considered to be a technique for ascertainment of cost of products or services on the basis of historical data. In the course of time, it was realized, due to the competitive nature of the market, that ascertainment of cost was not as important as controlling cost was. Hence, cost accounting is considered more a technique for cost control than merely for cost ascertainment. Due to technological development in all fields, cost reduction has now come within the ambit of cost accounting. Cost accounting is thus concerned with ascertaining cost, controlling cost, reducing cost, etc. Cost accounting is concerned with the cost, and hence it will be of relevance to us to understand the meaning of the term cost in a proper perspective. In general, cost means of amount of expenditure that is actual or notional and incurred on or attributable to a thing. For example, if you have purchased a book for Rs 150, it can be said that the cost of the book to you is Rs 150. And interpretation depends on the nature of the business or industry and the context in which it is issued. In business, where selling and distribution expenses are quite nominal, the cost of this article may be calculated without considering the selling and distribution overhead. For example, prime cost includes expenditure on direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. Money spent on material is termed as cost of materials, that spent on labor as cost of labor, and so on. It may also be noted that there is no such a thing as an exact cost or a true cost, because no figure of cost is true in all circumstances and for all purposes. Many items of cost of production are handled in an optional manner, which may give different cost for the same product or job without going against the accepted principle of cost accounting. Depreciation is on one such a item. Element of cost. In order to understand the correct interpretation of the term cost, it will be appropriate for us to learn about the basic elements of cost. There are broadly three elements: material, and material are also divided into direct material and indirect material. Direct material, all material that become an integral part of the finished product and can be conveniently assigned to specific physical unit is termed direct material. The following are some of the example of direct material. All material or components specially purchased, produced or requisitioned from stores. Understanding and classifying cost. Primary packing material, example carton, wrapping, cardboard, boxes, etc. And partly produced or purchased components. And indirect materials, all material that is used for purposes ancillary to the business and which cannot conveniently be assigned to specific physical unit is termed as indirect material. And consumable store. Oil and waste, printing and stationery material, etc. are a few example of indirect material cost. And labor is there, direct labor and indirect labor, and expenses also like that, direct expenses and indirect expenses are there. You just go through this element of cost chart. Cost are divided into materials, labor and expenses, and it again divided into direct and indirect. And overheads, the term overheads include indirect material, indirect labor and indirect expenses. Thus all indirect costs are overheads. A manufacturing organization can broadly be divided into three divisions: factory or works where production is done, office and administration where routine as well as policy matters are decided, and selling and distribution where products are sold and finally dispatched to the customers. Overheads may be incurred in the factory or office or selling and distribution division. These overheads may be of three types: factory overheads, office and administrative overheads, and selling distribution overheads. Okay, you just go through the explanation of each. The above classification of overheads also can be divided into the chart is there: overheads, factory, office and administration, selling and distribution. There is also indirect and material, labor, expenses are there. Indirect labor, material and expenses are, each divisions are under each overheads. And components of total cost. Prime cost is there. It is consists of cost of direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. It also known as the basic, first or flat cost. And factory cost. It comprises prime cost and in addition works or factory overheads, which include cost of indirect material, indirect labor and indirect factory expenses. This cost is also known as works cost, production or manufacturing cost. Office cost. It comprises factory cost and office and administration overheads. It is also termed as the total cost of production. Total cost. It comprises of cost of production and selling and distribution overheads. It is also termed as cost of sales. And various components of the total cost can be depicted by means of chart is here: direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. Okay, components of total cost. And prime cost plus work overheads, work or factory cost or production cost or manufacturing cost. And works cost plus office and administration overheads, office cost plus selling and distribution overheads. It may be noted that some accounts do not use the term office cost at all. They prefer to use the term total cost after adding office and administration overheads and selling and distribution overheads to works cost. However, while framing chart 6.3, that is the above chart, and we have presumed that office and administration overheads exclusively related to production. The selling and distribution overheads are inclusive of any office and administration overheads that may have been incurred and in respect of sales. Okay, so this is about today's session. Cost accounting, you just go through it. If any doubt, you can contact our contact number also. You can comment it on our comment box. And for more videos for Ignou MBA syllabus, you can do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor ES presents Ignou MBA, complete syllabus coverage classes and individual semester base, subject coverage program for MBA students online and flexible sessions. For more details, contact 62382 1788.